Hello, hi. So this is log one, the first ever log of my communications abilities journal. So let me first talk about the course itself. Now, the communication abilities course was something I remember seeing in the syllabus of IE prior to joining the university, and I was so curious and so excited for it because I knew it would be offering me something that I wouldn't usually be able to learn in usual subjects or usual courses or anything like that. And today we had the first session, and my predictions were assured, and I know for a fact that it's going to be a great course. Um, Basically, I think that communication is super important because it is, for me, in a professional world, in terms of the hard skills, that can be that'll always come along. But I feel like any job, whatever it may be, 60 to 70% of it is dealing with people, negotiating, communicating with people, making people understand your concepts and your ideas in the most clear and crystal way, right? So storytelling and communicating with each other has been what has been a driving force for all of mankind since the Stone Ages till today, right? It is one of the most detrimental skills that everybody needs to learn in order to upskill themselves to the next level. So I think it's super important, and I'm super excited to learn that. I have always, even prior to this class, I've always been striving to get better at communication. But I know I've never really reflected on my own communication much. But now that I think about it, I might have certain strengths, but I also have some weaknesses which I never really thought about. For example, sometimes I speak really fast when I get nervous. That's just like one example. I used to often think communication was a one-way thing, like I had to present to people, but I didn't realize it was sometimes a two-way conversation. I need to engage the audience as well. So these are some of the examples of things that I am looking forward to learn. All of this will, of course, come together in my course as well, because we have so many presentations in most of the courses. And because of the academic nature of what I'm doing right now, and even in working in communications and marketing, you tend to do a lot of presentations. And I think learning how to communicate will, of course, make a major impact in my presentations. And I generally like making presentations because you can go into very different ways. You can go into the completely analytical, data oriented presentations, or like the way I like to do it, you can build a story around what you're trying to say. And even if it's something as typical as sales numbers or something like very analytical, you can still portray that through storytelling, through engaging the audience, through making it interactive, through so many tools that are available to us. And I'm still scratching the surface of it. So I know there's a lot for me to learn, and that's why I'm excited to about this course, to also upskill the presentations aspect of me. Um, Also, if I have to reflect on a person that I think is very good in communicating, a type of person, I know exactly who it would be. For me, it would be comedians. I know it might not be the typical answer, but I think when you watch these stand up comedians do their show, you can see them on Netflix specials, or even if you've gone to any live show, these stand up comedians, they cover every aspect of communication. Now, of course, being humorous helps, and of course that's their job, being humorous, but there's so much more to it than that. They're able to do so much crowd work often that they're even having the crowd talk to them, and they're adapting to the replies of the crowds while keeping it engaging, while keeping it fun. And sometimes they're able to drive the narrative of the entire show in such a way that there are points which are very humorous, there are points where they get into something serious that they want to communicate, but also in a slightly relaxed way. And I think communication is done fabulously by comedians. So yeah. Anyway, today's class was absolutely great. We basically firstly set an Agoda, which is a great concept because for me, confidence was one of the key aspects of driving communication better. And often you work in an environment which can be very judgmental, or there are high stakes, and that can affect your process of learning how to communicate better. But because of this whole Agoda concept and the fact that we have closed this area as a judgment free Agoda, and we have certain rules that we're all following, it makes us all more relaxed. And I think it's a great learning environment. So kudos to the program and to the professor for coming up with that concept. I think it's absolutely great. And he showed us what we're going to be doing. He told us the concept of the journal, which I think is absolutely great, because not often do we reflect on what we have learned in the previous classes, but this gives us a great way to do that. And we saw some videos about a movie of Julius Caesar, and we saw two different characters, and we could see so well how there are so many other elements of communication that they use, which can be used in our practical lives, but we don't. Like how they make use of silence, and they're comfortable with silence, but they also have a way to understand the emotions of the crowd and adapt their communication based on that, and even how to handle a difficult crowd. There's so many things that we came across today, and we're just scratching the surface, and I'm super excited for the following sessions. So yeah, that's my first vlog. I will see you after the next class. Bye bye.